How's it going, everyone? This week I'm going to be looking at the Kia MVP ladder. It was posted a couple days ago, so I'm a little late to this. It was posted on the 19th, so some of the stats now and records might be very slightly different. But I figured I'd just kind of do a reaction to and what I think, what I agree with, what I don't agree with kind of how, I guess, Sean Powell, and I don't know if he consults with some other people. I'm sure he does, but kind of what they think about the MVP race. We're a little over a fourth of the way through the season, almost to Christmas Day games, and that's kind of what this mentions right here. Setting the stage this week as the Christmas Day games. All the stars play. Super fun to watch. It says the stat to know is Shea went 2-0 in Game 7's last postseason, but was 1-2 in Las Vegas during the NBA Cup. And that's in his career, not this season, obviously. What they're saying, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so it has Jokic as number one. Okay, I actually agree with that. I think, obviously number two is going to be Shea, right? I think it's a two-man race right now, unless something crazy happens, like one of them getting injured, something like that. I think it's kind of a two-man race, and I hate to say that so early in the season because anything can happen, but that's what it's looking like. I'm a little surprised that Shea is number two. I actually agree with that just because I think Jokic has been so dominant. The numbers, he's averaging pretty much a 30-point triple-double, and not barely a triple-double. He's 12 rebounds and pretty much 11 assists. Right here it says he's shooting 61% from the field. I know he's shooting over 40% from three right now. He has been so good. The Nuggets have been good. It's just been really entertaining to watch. And Shea, obviously, best team in the NBA. They have a chance to break the win record, and that's kind of his biggest argument, right? He has been incredible. He's been super efficient. Shooting percentage-wise, I have it somewhere over here, but I think he's shooting somewhere around, he's shooting 55% from the field, 43% from three. It doesn't get better than that as a guard, right? That's pretty much perfect. So I can see how Shea will win this award. I think if I were to guess who's going to win this award by the end of the season, if things go how they're going right now, I think if the Thunder win over 70 games, it's really hard not to give it to Shea. Even though I think Jokic has been the better player. And then at number 3, you've got Luka. And Luka's really interesting because his counting stats, I think, are the best in the NBA. He's at, according to this, 35 points a game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. It's his shooting percentage, his efficiency hasn't been as good, right? It's nowhere near the likes of Shea or Jokic. And the Lakers have been good this year, I think better than people expected, but they haven't been dominant like the Thunder and like the Nuggets have been at times. So looking at Luka, like I said, the stats are a little different on Basketball Reference, so I'm not sure which is more accurate right now, but it shows him as 34, 9, and 9 pretty much, but only 46% from the field and 32% from three. That's lower than his average for his career, right? He's had to carry a lot of the weight in LA with injuries, with LeBron not playing for the start of the season, so things like that has kind of affected his year, made him take a bigger role scoring, and he's done it great. But just looking at, 3.3 win shares versus Shea's 7 and Jokic's 7.3. I know they've played a few more games, but it just, the efficiency isn't there to have him in the top 2. As much as I think almost any other season with any other players, he's the MVP, right? You take away 5 years ago, he's probably the MVP, right? Number 4, let's see if they've got Jalen Brunson, and then at 5 they've got Cade. This is kind of what I expected. I could have seen him having Cade a little higher because his counting stats are higher, and the Pistons are still the best team in the East. They still have the best record. But with the Knicks winning the NBA Cup, I can see how they'd want to put Jalen Brunson at 4. I don't really know who I would pick over the 2. It's probably Cade right now just because of the numbers for an MVP race, and number 1 record in the East means something, right? But I think in a playoff series, I'd take the Knicks over the Pistons. So it makes sense. It doesn't surprise me. He's averaging 29, 3, and 6. Cade's averaging 27, 6, and 9. They're both having incredible seasons. I think they're a good 4 and 5. I think you can switch them around. I think this race is 2 at the top, Shea and Jokic. I think there's a big gap. Then this goes down to Doncic. Then I think there's another big gap, and it's Jalen Brunson and Cade are really close to each other. The next 5, they've got Wemby, Jaylen Brown, Sengun, Anthony Edwards, and Tyrese Maxey. The only thing I kind of disagree with is Wemby at 6. I think he's talented enough to be at 6th. I think he could end up this season at 6th, right? Or even in the top 5, right? If he meets the minimum game threshold, he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to average 25 and 12, shooting incredible numbers, right? He's going to be great. It's just hard because he's been injured this year. He's only played in 15 games, and so it's really hard for me to want to put him at 6 when other guys like Jaylen Brown and Sengun and Anthony Edwards and Tyrese Maxey have been so consistent for their teams and have been playing in all the games and putting up really big numbers, whereas Wemby's only played in 15 games. The team is still really playing good without him, right? Like I said, I think he could end up in that 6th spot or even higher. I just think right now it's a little premature. Everyone else, maybe I'd move a few people around. I think Alperen Sengun's been amazing. Maybe I'd put him at 6, Jaylen at 7, Ant at 8, Wemby at 9, Tyrese Maxey 10, something like that. I'm not sure. And then the 5 more they add, and this is listed alphabetically, so I guess it's not in any specific order. But I would have Jalen Johnson potentially at the top of this list, averaging almost a triple-double, been incredible, a really breakout year after injury last year. Donovan Mitchell's been the only consistent player in Cleveland. Jamal Murray should be an all-star this year. Austin Reeves has had a huge breakout scoring season. He's been injured as of late, so I can see why he's not kind of in the top 10 or competing for that spot. Cat, I think, has been solid this year. The one guy I'm kind of missing from this list that I would love to see on here, and maybe this is, I don't know if a lot of people would agree with this, but I think Josh Giddey, even though the Bulls haven't been playing as good, right? They started off super hot this season and then looked like the worst team in the NBA for a few weeks. But they're on a 3-game win streak right now. They won tonight in a really close game where no one played any defense against the Hawks. I think it was like 152 to 150. But Josh Giddey, I mean, he's averaging 29 and 9, almost a triple-double. I've never seen this nickname before. Himothy Chalamet. That's hilarious. But he's shooting 47.5% from the field, 40% from 3 as a point guard. He's just played super well, and I get their record isn't the best. I think they're sitting at like the 10 seed in the East right now, so it makes sense that he's not really on this list, but I think I'd put him in over Cat right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I just think he's had a really good season. I think he should be an all-star. I don't know if he'll be an all-star. I like to think in the East he could probably make it. If he was in the West, I don't think he would. And so that's kind of my thoughts just on this week's MVP ladder. I'd like to do this with kind of the rookie ladders in the future and also do this as maybe like a running weekly thing, just my reactions, how things change. I appreciate you if you made it this far in the video, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks.